Mud family, man. Inside out. I mean, I can't think of two more respectable, high up there proprietors of Mud fam.
What the fuck's he talking about?
What's he on about?
Well, tell me who else is in Mud fam.
Oh, of the Famalams.
Yeah. Who else is in?
Well,
Started as a 2, went to a 3, and then a 17, and then 12T.
they just don't die, they multiply.
Yeah, that's right.
Mud Fam was originally a feeling that we had as brothers in mud, bonded in mud. Coming from our beginnings with our peers, which would have been the Fire Posse.
Indeedy.
Finchley Park, Feed the Poor, Fuck the Police, Fire the Posse. Yeah,
Wow.
Finchley Park, Free the People, Feed the Poor. Fire Posse. So that was our roots. We come from Fire Posse. Don't ever ramp, fam. Never do that, fam. Fire Posse, fam. And because of that, we was just doing our thing. I mean, we're talking about musically here, not lifestyle.
No.
Musically. Then the Berry Crew was popping off. We've got to give the ratings to Vincent Barnett,
Indeed,
to Shocking
Intense.
B, who was doing
Old
the
type
thing,
Shocking.
early foundation from the Junglists.
Yeah.
And I think with
Cool
Shocking
FM.
B and Intense
Yeah.
and the like-minded likes around us going to Highbury Grove Youth Centre, there was a little collective of people from that area. Me and Mono was familiar to that area because of the children's home kind
Many a
of
friend and family.
demograph. Me and Mono come from having friends, many a friend from the children's home
And their
demograph.
kitchens were always stocked, and we used to break in at night and cook burgers.
So because of that, that's how our kind of like familiarity with the crew from Highbury. Musically, it was always flourishing, and the fact
It's
that,
rap. It was rap all
but the
day.
fact
Like
that
hip-hop.
Intense,
Basically. But we were rare
used to
grooves
go-
and raggaheads as well.
the
Because
fact
these
that
guys,
Intense-
before we go any further, let me just specify here, because for the international crew that may be living under some sort of rock in the middle of nowhere, Mud Family, Skinnyman Mongo, these are figureheads in the UK hip hop scene. Music releases, God knows what. I mean, these guys are humble cats, man. But let's be real, you guys were. I remember first seeing you boys, and I tout this fucking story all the fucking time.
Yeah.
1997, fresh UK, Folkestone, Kent. Mud was in the building, and then
Mickey
me,
Blue Eyes, the rap Sinatra.
old tight Mickey Blue Eyes, and look, I promoted and created the event, wasn't he, from '97? And man, from that moment, you guys, arguably, I can't think of anyone else in my mind who not only did I feel embodied London hip hop so raucously and so on the edge. For me, as an 18-year-old kid, I was like, "Whoa, these guys are fucking hardcore." And you walked how you talked it, and that's just me praising you guys for being the greats you
Did
are.
we rap, or were we just there?
I
were
think
there and you were
We was just
present.
living
Oh,
our
okay.
lives, and we was always rapping about our lives whilst living our lives. So depending what age you would have caught me and Mono, we were both born as twins at the age of 10 in
Exactly,
George Orwell.
basically, yeah.
And so like we say, big up to Intense V, who kind of molded and was a backbone inspiration to all of the kids from Highbury, Canterbury and Finsbury.
Yeah, for real.
Because that meant that, I mean, Michael Johnson was already doing his thing from early day dot. He's one of the first people who
Force
brought
and
me.
KG.
Yeah, and the Dominant Force.
Dominant Force.
Rusty Ranks,
Yeah.
Michael Johnson, putting it down. Them times there, Berry Crew's going, yes, we actually have this going on. We can say that from the Berry Crew. I'd like to try mention as many people as I can, and if you could help me with this,
Yeah.
we're talking about Twilight Eyes, Adrian,
Twilight Eyes,
Nocturnal.
Nocturnal.
Nox, one of the best.
Is that Adrian? That's
Yeah,
the-
yeah.
Farmer, Chester.
Farmer,
Yeah, indeed.
Chester,
Yeah, hold tight.
Spiteri,
Yeah.
both the Spiteri brothers.
Yeah,
that's
so that's
Mark and
Sparks and Mania.
Keith. I mean, who else we're talking about here?
BFG, DJ BFG.
DFG.
Oh yeah.
So that little collective, for me and Mono to be like, man, these that are on a musical vibe, because the crew that me and Mono hang around with in Finchley Park weren't on no musical vibe. I mean, they liked music.
It was on a vibe.
And it was on a vibe.
Mind you, we
but
were
they weren't-
everyone
went on that
danced
vibe.
though, didn't we?
But we
all
did
danced.
we did dance. I mean, so for
Yeah.
us, where we did dance, and we used to be in Elthorne Park practicing our dance routines, I think the Fire Posse started because we all started learning our dance routines. We saw that our powers in numbers was when we once went to a Jazzy B dance in Moswell Hill, and they started to play Sugar Bear.
Oh, sure.
Don't Scandalise Mine. we had been doing this routine, the whole crew in the park every day, like meeting up as gang and that. We used to do this routine, a dance routine to Don't Scandalise Mine. So we're in the dance, it's soul to soul versus some sound system in a big warehouse in Muswell Hill. And I think our crew was scattered about the dance. So you couldn't really see in numbers how many there were. Until that song come on. And we all kind of merged into the middle of the dance floor and kind of all started doing this dance routine that we had been practicing to Don't Scandalise Mine. And people were like, rah, they are a massive crew. What's their name? Fire Posse. And
do you remember how the crew got it? I swear, either we had it first or remember when Westwood in high fashion.
Yeah.
We walked in and it was like, oh, it's the Fire Posse.
Yeah, the Fire
Because
Posse.
Fire used to mean bait anyway, but it was
Yeah.
like, no, they're not Fire. Like.
yeah.
Wow.
And so from Fire Posse,
I think Miss Melody was there that night as well.
we would do our thing, dancing, the culture, graffiti, rapping, everything. The Berry crew, they were fully engrossed in the culture.
They
Oh,
attacked.
MCs.
They
Proper
attacked
MCs.
everything, man.
So for us to
MCs.
link up with them, it was only a natural progression because they're our family before even music or after music or even if there was no music.
Yeah,
then, man,
me and
we
Intentions
consider
got primary
fam.
school as well, yeah.
Like I say, all of the children who grew up in the children's home demograph, whether you could go home to your parents or on a night or not, we kind of formed and bonded as brothers in arms, unified as one big family. And I suppose that's where the feeling of us realizing that we are mud. And the philosophy of mud is that from the mud we came, into the mud we will surely return.
I love that
we
song.
They
are-
say mud is thicker than blood. Blood is thicker than water. Mud is thicker than water.
Mud is thicker than blood.
Yeah.
And
And plus, as well, remember Jerry Springer, and she goes, I ain't having no mud babies. We was like, what
and
mud
all
babies?
the-
Where mud babies
yeah.
at?
And our dogs are now mud wheelers.
Yeah, the mud whalers
Mud
over there.
whalers and
Mudwise it was.
so I think that what kind of happened is with me and Mono living our life being very musical, we could say that we would have been North London's version of Silent Bob and Jay.
Silent J and Bob.
Silent J and Bob. But like
They always get things
some more
twisted.
rats of Camden Bridge. You know, while I was getting our little papers for distributing herbal medicine and
I
whatnots
think
and
beatbox
whatnots.
and rap travelled with us since we were kids.
Yeah, and tapping on the beat, and
oh,
tapping on
the
the bus
window.
window.
Yeah.
Bass,
I
you get on
mean,
the
808 Roland, they should
Yeah.
have sampled the back of a bus window. 'Cause
Yeah,
like,
and the
then
clipper lighter.
The clipper lighter.
Yeah.
That vibe alone on a
But
bus.
yeah, I know about beatboxing.
Blazing it up, and just vibes on your way to Chocodero to go clap out the place.
for real.
What was the shop that had the average jackets? Mash.
Yeah, mash.
Chocodero.
Downstairs, yeah.
Oh, do you remember Mash? Yeah.
We remember Mash. We mashed
HMV,
down Mash.
CNA.
So I think like we've always been musical. We've always been in it. Berry Crew, who really engrossed themselves in the culture and was doing their thing, they was kind of like Highbury, Canterbury. Well, we're in Finsbury, so we're the Finsbury leg of the Berry Crew.
Yeah.
So we
And
are
I was in Tufnell Park, so I was a Tufnell Pakistani.
Yeah.
So
Tufnell Park. I thought,
I was never in the Berry, except for I lived
But he was always
close
in
to
the
the Berry.
He was always in the Berry.
I was
but
in the Berry.
Didn't reside in the Berry.
I was fully in the mud.
Yeah,
I didn't, you know.
You were deep in it, weren't you?
So I think from that, with us seeing the Berry Crew being a massive collective of all of us MCs who were all brothers in arms, then who's socialising with each other differently? Me and Mono hang around, and then Chester was hanging around with us, and we love Chester's spirit. He's our little bro.
Yeah.
Not only
He goes
that,
in.
He goes in. I mean, I believe he's the most talented poet that UK has produced since Wordsworth and Kipling. So, I mean, me and Mono are fair. It's fair to speak on behalf of both of us. We've always been in awe of our little brother.
Angel Face Terror.
The angel face terror.
Yeah.
We've always been in awe of our little
Chester's
brother.
Chester, but Angel Face Terror is the Chester P.
And,
Personified.
Before, yeah.
And
yeah.
because he brings the element that he brings, we was kind of like, well, we've just only got to be ourselves and let him be him.
Hell yeah.
And together we're doing this thing, and as Air
Well, like
likes,
a secret weapon, like
No,
bring out
yeah,
the
there was
devil.
kind of.
It's kind of like we bounce off him and we're
Yeah.
inspired because we rap anyway, but he's really rapping and he's really been poetic and depth and
And not only that,
metaphors and
the energy
soliloquies
would
and-
rise up from the floor, and he would be standing on the edge of the stage certain times where most people would fall off tiptoes, but he's so engrossed in the freestyle, he's like defying gravity.
Yeah, defying gravity with his balance, looking over the stage freestyling.
Through his
Yeah,
hair.
We know that about
Big
him.
hair, yeah.
Do you know how hard that is for some people to put in their heads that the idea that somebody that inspires you so much is in your circle? 'Cause
Yeah,
that's
he's our
really-
little brother.
that's
He's
mad.
our little brother. He's not in our circle. He's our little broski.
A lot of people would never have that experience, which is crazy.
So I mean, me and Mono were just like, we're mad. We're mad. And to see Chester's energy, we just plugged into that, and it was like, can we do this? This is a mud family thing. Now, being muddy was something that me and Mono had been resonating with for years before we thought of being the Mud fam. When it did actually form and we had to put thought into what it actually meant to us, we put even more thought into it, and we thought, well, if we're Mud...
Yeah. Mad underdogs, huh? And watch how we're really fucking mad as well, though.
And to be an underdog, they was like an underdog of what? So then we kind of looked at it on a wider scale of how our heart tells us what Mud family is. People would be like, who are the members? And I'll be like, whoever recognises themselves to be Mud is the member. What are the rules? The rules is that there are no rules. Yeah, so we kind of kept it like that.
That's it.
And for my philosophy, a shared philosophy of ours growing up together, resonating with this thing of Mud. Mud we come, Mud we shall return. Mad underdog. We are family. Through this, we can relate. We are all relative through matter. 6 steps of separation. We are all family. We are all the family of humans on planet Earth. And if
We
you
tell
can
him if you can relate to that, you're a relative of the
you're
Mud.
relative because you're related.
Yeah.
And so relative is matter and relative is family. And for all my individual living youth is family, because we've always
Acronyms,
striven to try and bring about change, awareness and betterment for the children of the next generation. When we look at the further scale of how we're mad underdogs, we are the 90% of the economical dispositioned to the 10% and the 1% who control the world's economical infrastructure at the pyramid scheme. So we're underdogs to the whole foundation of society.
But without us, there's
90% of us
There you
are,
go.
the 90% of the human race are the underdogs. So that is who Mud family is. Who are we to say any differ?